And so here we are in Paris. And what an interesting life Chopin lived here in Paris. It's where he became really famous. In the autumn of 1831, Chopin arrived in Paris, where he met many fellow countrymen, as thousands of exiles, including the Romantic poets Adam Mickiewicz and Julius Slovatsky, in Warsaw, friends of Chopin, sought refuge from the Russian occupation in a country and city which they found most friendly. In Paris, his reputation as an artist grew rapidly. Letters of recommendation, which the composer brought from Vienna, provided instant acceptance.
Quelque chose, il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Des nuits d'amour à plus finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place, des ennuis, des chagrins s'effacent, heureux, heureux, à en mourir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi, moi pour toi dans la vie. Tu me l'as dit, m'as juré pour la vie. Alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat.
They call it the City of Light, Paris, so evocative of art, fashion, culture and romance. Garnier's old Paris Opera House, completed in 1875. The interior of the old opera house is also romantic, with its famous majestic staircase and marble decorations to delight each of its many visitors. By night, Gustave Eiffel's 320-metre-high masterpiece from 1889 is a golden symbol of Paris, the City of Light.
I love
Chopin became the friend of several composers and musicians, including Liszt, Mendelssohn, Ferdinand Hiller, and Berlioz. Later on, in 1835, in Leipzig, he also met Schumann, who held his works in great esteem and wrote enthusiastic articles about the Polish composer. The ensuing success was enormous, and he quickly became a famous musician renowned throughout Paris. This rise to fame aroused the interest of publishers, and by the summer of 1832, Chopin had signed a contract with the leading Parisian publishing firm of Schlesinger. At the same time, his compositions were published in Leipzig and in London. The most important source of Chopin's income in Paris was, however, from giving lessons. He became a popular teacher among the Polish and French aristocracy, and Parisian salons were his favorite place for performances. As a pianist, Chopin was ranked among the greatest artists of his epoch, but unlike others, he disliked public performances and appeared rarely and rather unwillingly. In a friendly, intimate group of listeners, he disclosed supreme artistry and the full scale of his pianistic and expressive talents. Having settled in Paris, Chopin deliberately chose the status of an émigré. Despite the request of his father, he did not obey the Tsarist regulations and never extended his passport in the Russian embassy. In this situation, the composer could meet his parents only outside Poland, and when in August 1835 they went to Carlsbad in Bohemia for a cure, Chopin soon followed. Afterwards, while in nearby Dresden, he renewed his acquaintance with the Wodzynski family. Years earlier, the three young Wodzynski sons had stayed in the boarding house managed by Nikolai Chopin. Their younger sister, Maria, now an adolescent, showed considerable musical and artistic talent, and Chopin fell in love with her, and wanted to marry her, and set up a family home of his own in exile. The following year, during a holiday spent together with the 17-year-old Maria and her mother in Marienbad, modern-day Mariánské Lázně, in the Czech Republic, and then in Dresden, he proposed and was accepted on the condition that he would take better care of his health. The engagement was unofficial and did not end in marriage, for after a year-long trial period, Maria's parents, disturbed by the bad state of the health of her fiancé and by his irregular lifestyle, viewed him as an unsuitable partner for their daughter. Chopin found this rejection an extremely painful experience, and labeled the letters from the Wodzynski family, tied into a small bundle, "My Sorrow." In July 1837, Chopin travelled to London in the hope of forgetting all unpleasant memories. Soon afterwards, he entered into a close liaison with the famous French writer George Sand. This author of daring novels, older by 6 years and a divorcee with 2 children, offered the lonely artist what he had missed most from the time when he left Warsaw: extraordinary tenderness, warmth, and maternal care. Here he was to spend long vacations up to 1846, with the exception of 1840 returning to Paris only for the winters. This was the happiest and the most productive period in his life since having left Poland. The majority of his most outstanding and profound works were composed in Noah. In Paris, the composer and writer were treated as a married couple, although they were never married. Both had common friends among the artistic circles of the capital, but with time the increasing hostile attitude of George Sand's son, who exerted a strong influence on the writer, caused serious conflicts. A final parting of the ways took place in July 1847. In April 1848, persuaded by his Scottish pupil Jane Stirling, Chopin left for England and Scotland. Together with her sister, Miss Stirling organised concerts and visits in various localities, including the castles of the Scottish aristocracy. This very hectic lifestyle and excessive strain on his strength from constant travelling and numerous performances, together with a climate damaging to his lungs, further affected his health. On the 17th of October 1849, Chopin died of pulmonary tuberculosis in his Parisian flat in the Place Vendôme. He was buried in the Père Lachaise cemetery in Paris. In accordance with his will, however, his heart, taken from his body after death, was brought by his sister to Warsaw, where it was placed in an urn installed in a pillar of the Church of the Holy Cross.